Well, hello guys. This is just one of those videos that I really wasn't really, trying to make a video, but you know, just because I was in the group in Peter Gregg's group today, I wanted to bring you guys, something different, okay, something uh that I was sort of like, cleaning up my closets and stuff like that. For those of you that don't know, all right, I do have a recording studio which I do all my film stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now, some of you have seen the pictures of me in the studio. Some of you have not. Okay, I've had it for a very long time, but it doesn't matter whether I have the recording studio or not. What I want to talk to you about today is something that we used to do back in the 80s, in the 80s and in the 90s, because the way that recordings were done back in the 80s, we didn't have all that digital stuff that is being used like right now, Pro Tools and Pro Logic and all that stuff. We used to record, all our recordings were actually done on analog tape. It was either done on a 2-inch tape or a 1-inch tape, depending on what kind of machines you had, and so it was a little bit different, and those that had a lot of like music writers, songwriters, artists, they were actually using little portable 4-track recorders, to be able to present demos to record companies, and they would send us a tape like this, a cassette, all right, a cassette tape. But it wasn't a regular cassette tape, because since it was done in a using a 4-track, right, these cassette tapes, as you know, on cassettes, when you flip it over, you play the other side of the cassette. On a 4-track cassette, you can't flip it over on the other side. It's only a one-sided, and it actually uses the whole tape, and it records 4 different tracks on the tape itself. It actually, stripes, 4 different bands. And so what was happening, what we, as engineers, what we used to do, because you need to sort of get a feel for what the group is trying to portray as far as sound, and we want to try to get the best sound as possible. Sometimes they would give us a rough cut in a 4-track like this, and we had to go out and we had to listen to it. Well, I happen to have one of these, portable recorders, right, that we used to use to be able to listen to it, and I want to show you, okay, what we used to use. It was very common back then. This is a Sony. It looks like a Walkman, all right, but this is a Sony. It is a 4-track, all right. It is a 4-track player and recorder as well. All right, very portable. It uses 2 AA batteries, as you can see right there, 2 AA batteries. All right, this is the Sony 4-track, the TCM4TR. Let me see if I can show you there. All right, it's a 4-track player. All right, but it also records. All right, it's not just a player. All right, it also records. Here's your record buttons. You see right there? It also records. And this is your mic, and you can record each track separately. Now, what's nice is when you're tracking, when you're actually recording, this is the switch that you use here to record either track 1 and 2 or track 3 and 4. So you can actually, do your recording and dumping, and then you can record your first track, and then you can record your second track, and then you have your 4 tracks. On here, you have your speeds, because you could actually use 2 different types of speeds. And also, some of these machines that were usually done like by Tascam or Fostex, which were very popular back then, for the musician, these had different type of speeds. Some of them would actually, usually the speed was was twice as fast as the normal speed of a regular cassette. All right, and the speed, what the speed did, it gave you a much cleaner sound because it was going faster, and it would produce much cleaner noise, and your noise wouldn't go from one track to another. We call it bleed. Okay, it wouldn't bleed over into the other track. So I just thought it was kind of nice to show you, something like this. All right, this is the Sony. All right, again, this is was very popular for people like us engineers. That we needed to actually listen to what these artists wanted to try for us to record, and while they were in the recording studio, it was almost about the same size as a Walkman, but the functions were different. And you could put in a microphone, an external microphone. You could plug in a set of headphones, and what else can I say? Okay, you could cue it also. That's another thing. All right, so you could have it set for a certain cue, and then just when you rewind it, it would come to that point right there. It has a counter up in here. You can see it right there, right? So you can see where it is that you needed to cue it to. What else? You can see there the tape speed. See the tape speed. All right. And what else can I tell you about this? Oh, this another thing that you could do that was very famous back then. Sometimes somebody would write a song and they would give you the song, but the key was not quite to your voice, and so you need to lower the key a little bit, because it was too high. The arrangement was a little bit too high. So what we would do is we would take, this is the pitch control, and we would lower the key. By lowering the speed, you could lower the key and then sing at that speed, and when you put it back to the regular speed, it would be in key. You will always be in key, or you could keep it at that lower speed, and it would sound great. That's little tricks of the trade, what I'm saying, that we used to do. Again, this is a Sony. Really, really hard to find. I think maybe I've seen one or two. I think they might go like for $10 now. You know what I'm saying? But back then, these were like $200 and some odd dollars, $300. Okay, for these units right here, and this was very, very useful. Okay, for us engineers to use, to be able to reference, songs that were being actually produced by recording studios. So anyways, I thought that I would bring a little bit of nostalgia to you guys, and another one is a couple of just little things that just suggestions, what I'm saying. So I know that a lot of guys go out and they buy like super expensive headphones, and because headphones, a really good pair of headphones usually can run you a couple of $100. But I found that there's a couple of headphones that are really, really nice and clean and comfortable. I find that these JBLs, although they're a little bit bassy, these JBLs are very nice, especially like, for example, I use these, or I use my my JLabs, for to be able to monitor my audio on my camera. Here's my JLabs. These are JLabs right here. Very nice, very portable, and very comfortable. They're very, very comfortable when you wear them on your head. They're not expensive. Okay, these are not expensive wired headsets. And they give very, very nice sound. Much better than the Sonys, much better than everything out there. Of course, unless you're going to go and spend a couple $100. These headphones run usually about $20. You know what I'm saying? But the quality of the sound is really, really pleasing, and the comfort of the headphones is very nice. And usually, what we would do to be able to, every engineer, all right, has a certain sound that they like and a certain set of headphones that they like to use. And usually, what I would do is I would, use my headsets, and I would plug my headsets to my Sony and I could listen very clearly and very carefully, without nothing else interfering. The sound that they were trying to acquire, before they got into the studio. Anyways, this is just a little bit of vintage history for you folks that have never been in a recording studio back in the 70s or back in the 80s. I come from way back then, doing not only doing albums, but also doing film, I'm saying, documentaries and stuff like that. And this is the stuff that we use. Okay, this is just one of the things that we used. And it was just laying around, and as I was cleaning my closet, I found it and I said, oh, look what I got here, and as I was looking at listening to the show today for Peter Gregg, I said, wow, it'd be kind of neat, okay, to show this to you guys, and just bring some memories, and maybe it's just a little info there. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope that that you guys can understand, when it comes to sound, a lot of things are not compatible right out of the box. All right, you have to set it. They're compatible to be used for certain things, but they're not meant to be used for others, so you have to adjust it. All right, that's why when we talked about in the broadcast about the Rode Wireless Go 2, all right, the board that you have, most boards, which is a normal layman's board, all right, we're not talking about a $10,000, $20,000 board. When you have those boards, you have much more control. But when you have a small board, you're limited to the control that the board has, and so you have to use pads that come sometimes are digitally set, okay, in the app, which in this case with the Rode, you can digitally set pads, for the transmitter, and you can digitally also fine tune the receiver as well, so you need to work on it. And another thing that I want to tell you very clearly is that the lavalier that comes with that Rode microphone makes the microphone sound terrible. All right, because it is very cheap. You can use a Shure lavalier. It's compatible. You can use a Saramonic is very cheap lavalier, but it's a lot better than the lavalier that comes with the Rode. But a Shure lavalier runs about maybe about $50. You know what I'm saying? Is what it runs if you want to use it that route. If you want to use something like a Sennheiser, a Countryman, DDT is another brand that's about a $2,000 lavalier mic. Most people don't even know about those mics. Sennheiser was the other one, a Sony. There are compatibility issues, but the adapter is about usually about $20. You know what I'm saying? It's not much, all right? It's just the polarities are different, okay, on those microphones, so it inverts the polarity so that those mics can be used, and so that's all I wanted to say about that. Anyways, I posted a couple of videos for the Rode Central app, which is what the Rode Wireless Go 2 uses to be able to set all these extra parameters. But once you set it, it's a really good mic. I don't have anything for the price. It's a really, really good mic, and it is able to also record internally, so that if your audio gets messed up for whatever reason, you have an internal audio recorded on the mic that you can use it as a backup in case, let's say, your cables or whatever doesn't work on your broadcast, or whatever it is that you're recording. You can always use the actual track inside the microphone and just sync it up to your video, and that way you don't lose none of your sound. Anyways, again, this is the Sony 4-track. It's a player and also a recorder. This is what we used to use. Hope you guys have a wonderful season, a holiday season that is, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, bye-bye.